Hello, everyone. Welcome to College Coaching Network Social Spotlight Live. We, of course, are with you every Friday at 11 a.m. to talk to a guest that's going to take the 10-10 challenge. So, with us this morning, we have the very beautiful and talented Miss Tammy Carolan, who is she is actually a manager with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Kansas City, and she works with a lot of the bigs as well as the kids to match them up and really provide support for the students there for the youth.
It's Friday.
I know it's Friday. We have all
Well,
kind of noise in the background. That's
phone
okay.
muted.
We are
Right.
going to rock it out. So Miss Timmy's
Yes.
gonna take the 10-10 challenge this morning. So of course I'm gonna turn it over to Clyde because he has those questions.
Yeah,
Oh my
that'll work.
goodness.
That'll work. And that's funny because I am one of the old people that still has a home phone. So that's what you
Oh, that's a thing?
you're right. Exactly. It's like a pay phone, right? Yeah.
I
So
didn't know that.
yeah, that is
I
hilarious.
don't think my kids would even know what a home phone even is.
At least it's not connected to the wall.
That is true. That is true. And before we jump into the questions, my daughters actually walked past a payphone and she pointed to it. She said, "What is that?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm old
Yeah,
because I never used it."
yep, those were great back in the day.
Oh, they work. They worked a lot. All right, so let's jump in. 10 questions, 10 seconds for each one of these questions. First one about your first job. Where did you work for your first job?
My first job, I turned 16 years old, and on my birthday, my mom said, go get a job. And so I went down and applied to a place called Famous Amos Cookies, Pizzeria, and Ice Cream Shop. It was a one stop shop for everything. And I got the job that day.
All
Same.
right, you went to the trifecta.
You're right, right. That is a good day. Did you work that same day?
I did not. It was summer. My
Okay,
birthday
yeah,
was
which
June
is
30th.
important.
It was such a buzzkill that I had to go get a job, but I did have to go get a job. So got the job, celebrated that at the pool, and then started training.
Oh, that is hilarious. All right, so next question. What was your job title on your first job?
I don't think I had one. Worker bee? I don't know. I made the cookies, I made the pizzas, I made the shakes, I made the waffle cones. I think I was just an employee. That was my job title.
Jack of all trades. Jack of all trades. I love it.
And
All right,
all other
hourly rate.
duties as assigned.
Exactly, exactly. Hourly rate of pay.
Not enough. I don't even know what minimum wage was back then, but I certainly got minimum wage. Um, my paychecks felt real small for the amount of work and hours that I gave, but I was happy to have a little bit of extra income or income at all.
Income at all, and especially when your parents are paying all the bills for you at
Oh,
16.
right.
So, were you going to work on time, or were you late?
Oh, it has always been an internal thing for me that 10 minutes early is late. So I always got there early. Plus, I wanted to chat it up with my other coworkers who I happen to really enjoy and go to school with many of them.
I love it. I love it. My wife is the same way. She's always her dad put those values into her. As far as appearance, did you prepare your clothes the night before, or did you just throw it on and go?
Well, it depended on what I was doing the night before. It was summertime. I got dirty at that job. So there was a lot of washing, a lot of cookie dough on me and stuff like that. So, in general, I would say probably threw it on.
All right, all right. What was your biggest life lesson, Tammy, at your first job?
I would say, in a service position like that where you're dealing with the general public, um, good customer service
Yeah,
and kind of swallowing it when you did something wrong that someone was not, satisfied with the product that you gave them and you fixed it. And just in general, showing up, doing your best, learning more from your mistakes, and with a smile on your face.
yes. That is such a great lesson to learn at 16, because a lot of times when you're young, you're trying to figure out life already. And so for you to understand that it's not about you, but it's about how do you empower and enrich the lives of other people, that's a life lesson. That's good.
Exactly.
Were you a saver or were you a spender?
At that particular time in my life, money in, money out. I was not a saver. I grew up around other kids who had the ability to not work and for their parents to give them money. That was not my life. So when I had some income that I could buy things that I wanted, I bought them.
I love it. I was the same way. I didn't save anything. I have an uncle now. I'm sure he probably saved his birthday money from 15, but I was not that way. Not at all.
Nope.
All right. Last two questions. What song best describes your first job, or what song was popular during the time of your first job?
Oh my gosh. Geez. 10 seconds? What? Living on a Prayer. Bon Jovi.
I love
Back
it.
in the day.
That's applicable today, right? That's applicable still today. Yep.
Always.
Always. All right. So last question. Most embarrassing moment, but this doesn't have to just be your first job, but most embarrassing moment on any job.
Oh, wow. Okay. This is not going to be 10 seconds, but one of my, I think it was my third job. I worked in a hardware store, and there was a major snowstorm, and one of my friends played a joke on me and called and acted like they needed like 10 to 20. I told my supervisor, and he got so excited. He was going down in the basement storeroom trying to find shovels. It was a friend of mine, and I was mortified when I became aware of that fact. I was like, this is not funny. This is, he's trying to make money. He's all excited. There's a snowstorm. We're going to move some product. And we had some discussions after that, my friend and I did.
I could see.
Not good.
So you not at all. You completed the 10-10 challenge. Yay.
Let me tell you something interesting about that job too, which I would love for our next generations to figure out. When someone gave me money, I had to count the change back. There was no register that told me how much to give back to them. I had to, get that skill set. I think it's a good one to have, that money, figuring out how to count the money.
That's interesting that you said that, because I've had a lot of jobs, and we'll have to do this for me, because we need to do one is how many jobs have you had in your life? I know I got to be close to the biggest winner, because I was a Jamaican when it came to jobs. I had like 4 jobs, man. at the same time. But one of mine was at McDonald's, and I remember when they first had those registers, they would have to give you the money, the customer would, right? And then you would have to go ahead and put in, and it was $9, and they gave you $13, and so you have to know the difference, right? But then they changed the cash register up where it just said number 1, number 2, number 3, and then they didn't even have to do the exchange you're talking about. They just hit the button.
Well, and so then the panic sets in.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because I would have someone give me some change, and I'd start doing it, and then they'd throw out like a penny or whatever to make and I'd be like, oh, I'm shook. Wait.
That's a sign. That's a sign, Tammy, that we're getting that, not us, but people that give the exact change, not us, right? When a person starts giving you an exact change, that's a sign that you're getting older.
Like, wait, I owe $9.57. I know I have 2 pennies in here.
Right. And they want you to sit there and wait for them to find those 2 pennies out of their coin purse or whatever. So
don't even try it at Quick Trip.
Exactly. So can you walk us through like now, what are you doing now, and how did you journey from that humble position that you started with? How did you journey into? Did you go to college? how walk us through how you got to your position.
Yeah, so now I am with Big Brothers Big Sisters. My role, my title is Workforce Development and Community Partnerships Manager. And that is kind of a catch-all for working with the for-profit community, nonprofit community, finding opportunities for the kids that are in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. And then on the workforce development side, it's offering things like opportunities for first jobs, for internships, for career and college exploration and planning, ACT prep classes to really encourage, access to opportunity and money should kids want to go the college track. We do networking, we do volunteerism, all sorts of things like that. Just really anything we can do to position our youth to succeed. That's the short of what I do now. The journey there, pretty different story. I'll go back to my young life when I realized through a course of a lot of events, I had some struggles in my family of origin in my young life, and that was challenging. But what I realized early on was that I was a helper, and I was a person that wanted other people to be great. And I was kind of thrown into those opportunities sometimes, probably before I was even ready for it. But what I did realize was that it gave me a sense of pride and a sense of purpose. So, fast forward to high school, and I just decided to take this psychology class. And it spoke to me. The psychology of people, why they do what they do, how they react, groupthink, social psychology, all of those things. And I knew I took that first class my junior year. And I knew at that moment, I wanted to study people, and I wanted to understand people, and I wanted to help people. So, one thing that really drew me to mentoring, and it wasn't totally on purpose that I ended up in this space, but I had amazing mentors as a child. I had mentors at critical times in my life that convinced me that I was valuable and worthy, and I could do whatever I wanted to do. And I 100% believed them. And I needed them in that space and at that time. The first one I would note is my 8th grade English teacher, Mrs. Max. She was fabulous. I can edit things like nobody's business. Love that about her. But what she gave me, besides that ability, was she just lifted me up and believed in me. And then through coaches and eventually, growth and healing in my family. My parents are great mentors for me as well. So, I look back and I believe that I was meant to be in this space because I've experienced it. I can speak on it. I've exceeded and excelled because of it. And so the week after I graduated from college, I started my first job at Big Brothers Big Sisters in another city. And I thoroughly enjoyed my time there. I had the opportunity to do case management, and then I was the executive director of that agency. And so I was like, oh, this is wonderful. Like, I've achieved so much in a short period of time. And that really allowed me the grace because I was also built to be a mom. And so decided to start a family, and I walked away from that career and spent about 13 years raising my kids. And when it felt like it was time for me to get back into the workforce, I kid you not, Big Brothers Big Sisters just revealed itself to me again through a job opening, and I've been there ever since.
Wow.
That's phenomenal.
Wow. It is. Go ahead, Clyde.
No, go ahead, Mika.
I was gonna say the nonprofit sector is one that, because I've been a diehard volunteer since I was needed to be volunteered too.
We all need to give back.
Right. So the nonprofit sector is one of those areas that I believe that you truly have to have a sincere passion for what you do. And so hearing your story really correlates to why you do what you do. And
Right.
with that being said, Big Brothers Big Sisters is a national program, and there's so many things that you even said that you do that I'm sure a lot of the community did not know. So what?
Before you go down that road,
Go ahead.
before you go down the road, I already know where you're going. There's one more thing I just want to point out, because there's a lot of life lessons when people come out to tell kind of how they came to what they're doing, right? So I just want to point this out, and I'm setting up and throwing it back over to you because I know where you're going. When you work with somebody for a while, you kind of already kind of see their thought process, where they're going. So,
I love how you guys play off of each other. It's so good. You're like, I know what you're thinking.
yeah, right. So the crazy thing about it though is there's some kids out there right now that they in their heart, they know what they should do with their life.
Mm-hmm.
And they think the path to getting there is just, I don't need to go to school. I'm just going to go ahead and try doing this. But you knew that you needed the education to open up the doors to allow you to do some of the things that you're doing now. So can you speak to some of the students that they know they may be good at drawing, they may be good at coding, but why was education so important for you to open up the doors of what you're doing now?
Right. Oh, that's such a great question, Claude. And I love that because, really, I knew that the path for me to get in a space, for a door to even be open for me to do what my passion is, that path was really to find a degree or a field of study that benefited that. And the knowledge at that time, and it's still pretty current, is that you've got to have that degree to get into that door. So really,
Yep. I think she froze.
Yes.
Hey.
Moved, I thought it was me.
Right. I think she had to get the degree.
Oh, here we are. Yay.
We're back. All right, that'll work.
Oh, you gotta love internet.
Yes.
So yeah, I just simply knew that I had to get the credentials to get into the space that I wanted to be in. And whether that's, for example, my son, he wanted to work with his hands. He knew that a desk job was not for him. And so he sought out certifications in welding, right? So that he can get into the space he wants to be in. My daughter is interested in human rights and conservation. So she found that space in a university setting where she will get just a piece of paper that says the opportunities are open to you.
Yes. Yeah.
And great
Mika,
life
I digress.
Great learning.
Yes.
Now, Mika, now he's.
I know, right? Now, look, button it up. I know there's right now with everything going on with the pandemic, there is a lot of issues and things that are going on in youth and adult lives. And so I am a strong believer in the strength of having a great mentor in your life. And I know there's also a lot of working professionals that are working from home now and have more flexibility. So what can our audience do if they want to become for big brothers and big sisters to really connect with you guys?
Oh, that's excellent. And I would go out there. I strongly believe that every single person should have a mentor, whether they're our age and you think you arrived and you know it all. You do not. You can learn from other people, right? And it's really just, it boils down to having support and having advocacy. I tell kids all the time, that's a big old fancy word. Someone who wants the very best for you, and they will do whatever they can to help you achieve that on your own. We'll not do it for you, but we'll lift you up. We'll celebrate your successes, talk about those struggles, tell you the real talk that maybe other people won't tell you. So I think what I would want kids to know is that there are people out in the community that want you to succeed and that you don't even know who they are yet, right? But sometimes you have to seek them out. You have to find them. Big Brothers Big Sisters is a great place to do that because that's our specialty. We take members in the community who have a heart of giving and love and care for our youth, and we match them to those youth who want extra support and friendship and fun. I mean, it is a fun recreational program. But really, for mentors, for community members who have a heart for this, you visit our website and fill out some basic information. We connect, We tell you all about it. I will say it's an intensive volunteer experience. You know, you are committing to another person, a child, and it's not to be taken lightly. So, you know, if someone really wants to have an impact in that space, think about it. Do I have the time? Can I be consistent? Can I be committed? This is a long term. Our wish is for people to build a friendship that lasts a lifetime. So, you know, if that's something that fits in your wheelhouse, if you want to give of your time and your talent and your treasure, then you reach out to us and we just walk you through that process.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I just before, because we got one more spotlight. We didn't know we were doing two today, but we have another person that we're going to do right after this. So I want to make sure I'm respectful to them. But I just want to put it out there, and we're going to do more, obviously, with you, Tammy. But we want to put it out there to the minority population that we want the minority population to start looking at becoming a big. We
Absolutely.
want to have our representation loving on our youth. They need to not just see us from a person that's telling them at the grocery store to pull your pants up. They need to understand that you have a heart and you want to help them through all of it, not just the discipline, but the love as well. So we want you guys to connect to Tammy, connect to Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and be a part of the village. I give it to you, Mika, as we close out.
Yes.
I appreciate that. That's wonderful.
Yes, I just want to say thank you, Tammy, for taking the 10-10 challenge and sharing with us about your trifecta of your first job. She started off as a helper by being a jack of all trades, and her life's work has stayed that path. So thank you again for all that you do in the community with Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and I'm sure even the work that you do outside of work, because
there's a little bit of that going on too.
right, when you're
Absolutely.
a nonprofit leader, that is your mentality. So Mhm.
Yes. Oh, I was just going to say, I so appreciate the opportunity. I think you're both fabulous, and the work you're doing is life changing for so many. I would also throw out there, if you've got any youngsters in the crowd listening, and you want the goodness of a mentor, hit our website as well, for sure.
Yes. So the website is in. It
Yes.
is bbs.org, bbbs.org. You can put in your zip code because I know that some people are in different cities and states. However, Miss Tammy is there in Kansas City, Missouri. So we definitely want to be able to
Yes.
connect with her. Thank you for choosing to listen to the College Coaching Network Social Spotlight Live. Again, we do the 10-10 challenge, and today Miss Tammy took the challenge. Thank you, everyone.
So fun. Thank you guys for having me.
Yes.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too. You take care. Bye-bye.